What's up, everybody, and welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt, and we are live here at youtube.com/assemble show, and we are taking a look at the Sony State of Play for today, April 29th, 2021. I am your host of all of the shenanigans today, and I'm very, very excited that you guys are here to join us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being in the chat, and thank you for being an awesome, awesome community. Do me a favor if you can. I got it right up there in the corner, but you guys can subscribe to the show. Go over to youtube.com/assemble show, and that way, that is the best way that you can support us. Give it a thumbs up. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell all of those nice people. Right. Oh, here we go. Thank you for being here, youtube.com/assemble.
Welcome to an all-new State of Play. We've got more than 15 minutes of new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart PS5 gameplay coming right up. But first, let's check in on two other exciting games coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 consoles this year.
Made it to 4546B. Landing was a bit rough, but I don't think they spotted me.
Hi, I'm Jeff, audio producer at Unknown Worlds.
Hi, Jeff.
Set 1 year after the award-winning original, Subnautica Below Zero plunges players into a frigid underwater adventure in search of answers. Here, the native wildlife above and below the surface might consider you a tasty treat, assuming you don't become an ice pop first. The previous research crew has vanished, including your sister.
This was Sam's necklace. She never took it off.
To uncover the truth, you'll need to get crafty, building tools and shelter for your survival. But even that may not be enough.
I told you to stay off my land.
With the PS5
Get off
DualSense
my
controller, every icy shock feels like it's being sent right into your hands. The haptic feedback system allows you to feel each adrenaline-filled chase and provides visual and audio cues as you use resources, encounter key game moments, or get into situations where it's probably best to run. By the time you squint to see what's ahead, it may already be too late.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, when you play Below Zero on PS5, players will get a crystal clear experience with up to 4K graphics, targeting 60 FPS when in performance mode. And if you already own a physical or digital version of the first Subnautica on PS4, you'll be able to upgrade to the digital PS5 version at no additional cost. We hope you're as excited as we are to dive into the world of Subnautica Below Zero when it launches on PS5 and PS4 on May 14th.
Okay, that's not too far, right? That's pretty good. Daniel, I'm with you. I would love, I've said this in last week's stream, I would love just anything Spider-Man, teaser, anything, logo, whatever it is. Give me that, I'd be good. Yeah, it's not gonna be huge, but we get the Ratchet and Clank. That's what I'm here for.
We can't wait to dive deep into Subnautica Below Zero and make baseless accusations against our crewmates in Among Us later this year.
What the hell is that?
Looks like Ratchet and the gang are ready for the spotlight.
Pork,
Next up,
how are ya, buddy?
Insomniac
Good to
Games
see
will lead
ya.
us on a tour of
Thanks
this
for
June's
joining. Thanks for
PS5
coming in,
action
buddy.
adventure.
Missing infobot located. Initiating retrieval.
This looks so good, guys.
I'm Marcus Smith, creative director of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, a brand new full-length Ratchet and Clank adventure built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5 console. Today we're going to introduce you to some of the gameplay, characters, and arsenal of Rift Apart. Whether you've played every game since Ratchet and Clank's debut, or you're brand new to the series, Rift Apart is a standalone adventure that you won't want to miss. Let's get into it.
Clank? Clank? Lombax?
Indeed.
What is this place?
What is this indeed? Where are you?
Where are you,
love
Clank?
how seamless
Maybe
it
someone
is.
around here has seen him. Have any of you seen a little gray robot anywhere? Green eyes, red antenna, very charming.
Ratchet has been separated from his best friend and partner Clank, and is now in a new dimension and a mysterious urban sprawl called Nefarious City.
Yeah, Court, I'm really hopeful, pretty optimistic. This is going to feel like the first proper next-gen game. I think
Please
they're
let there
gonna
be good
nail
news
this thing.
behind here.
Look at the detail in there, guys.
Ratchet quickly finds out that in this dimension, Dr. Nefarious is a much more capable villain.
Welcome to the Nefarious City Bazaar. Please remember to thank our marvelous Emperor before, during, and after making
Also,
your
I go
purchase.
with no low
Emperor?
restraints.
Does that mean there are two Nefariouses now? Clank first, Nefarious later. Maybe he's in this bazaar.
Thanks to the new hardware, the worlds in Rift Apart are more beautiful than ever. Cities are full of life with traffic and civilians milling about everywhere. Rift Apart is full of the unexpected. Characters in this new dimension are not always the same as they were in Ratchet and Clank's dimension. Ratchet comes across Miss Zircon, the weapon vendor in Rift Apart.
Wait a second.
You forgot your order? Well, come right in. Miss Zircon will sell you weapons, but you gotta be less conspicuous, or the resistance will not last.
Oh, she's sassy.
The Resistance?
Oh, apologies, sugar. Miss Zircon is still new to all of this espionage.
Release the hostage!
Clank has been taken by a mysterious new Lombax named Rivet.
Clank! No. I need to go after that ship.
So do we
How
get a
can I get
story
off
of
planet?
just, like,
It's a test.
them going
Only
against each
royal
other and then they come
starships
together?
are allowed to leave. Anything else? Phantom can help. Just follow the beat to Club Nefarious and you will find him.
Yeah, Lemon, wouldn't that
Club
be weird if
Nefarious.
2K was
Got
just
it.
like, hey,
Oh,
here we are.
and nice work, Secret Agent Zircon.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, Daniel, if we get a
Club
Batman Beyond
Nefarious
game
shouldn't
on
be hard to
PS5,
miss.
it'd be awesome. Like,
Better
I'd
look
like
around.
to see Rocksteady on Xbox, only because Sony's got Spider-Man all kind of. But either way, third-party open world Batman Beyond, yeah, let's go. Thanks for joining, guys. Thank you for being here. This was awesome. Like, I'm blown away by how good this whole thing looks. Guys, if you are new to the show, if you want to check out more content, head over to the channel after the stream. We'll try and stay on for a few minutes after, but consider subscribing to the show. Check us out on Twitter and
Nefarious?
message me and say hi.
That sounds like a club, all right.
This looks really, really great. The amount of depth and everything too, and like just the art design. Ratchet and Clank has always looked so good. Even last gen's PS4 version, I know that they were saying how like it always looked beautiful. But people play it and they're like, it looks out of date. But the cutscenes and the cinematics in this is great.
Phantom,
What I think
where
they're
are
gonna
you?
nail is
Once Ratchet finds
that seamless
Phantom,
transition.
he learns a couple of new moves.
Club Nefarious!
Yeah, Court, the audio on this is
One of the
great.
focal points of gameplay in Rift Apart is increased mobility. Ratchet can now dash and wall run to traverse levels. This focus on mobility allows players to chain moves together to create exhilarating combos.
Raritanium in your pockets to cover
Now let's jump into combat.
A nefarious day spa. If you can distract these troopers, I'll hack Nefarious's propaganda blimp and give this city a message it'll never forget.
Looks easy enough.
Yeah, Daniel, if you can get a remaster of like a Virginia Spidey collection.
This isn't punishment. It's an opportunity.
Dashing allows you to evade attacks or gain strategic advantages. Enemies can't hit what doesn't momentarily exist. Dimensional tears in the world allow you to use the Rift Tether, another new traversal mechanic to instantly pull yourself across battlefields to escape or flank enemies. Weapons in Rift Apart utilize the power of the DualSense wireless controllers, adaptive triggers, and haptic feedback to allow players to really feel the power of their arsenal. For example, with the burst pistol, players can pull back the trigger partway to peck out accurately placed single shots. But pulling the trigger fully unleashes a rapid-fire spread that covers more area. In either case, players will feel each shot burst from the weapon and connect with enemies.
That's what's really cool, guys.
With the Enforcer, players can pull the trigger down halfway to fire a single barrel, reducing time between reloads. Or pull the trigger fully and unleash both barrels with a devastating close-range attack.
I love that
Thanks to the haptics, the player will feel the power of their shots through their hands.
I love that because it's not having to switch up different guns all the time and going through the wheels to select something new. That they're taking
Let's move ahead
advantage
a
of
little
the
bit.
triggers within the controller instead to change up just the weapon design and how it will actually be.
As Ratchet attempts to follow Ratchet and Clank, he encounters a nefarious juggernaut.
Second line is a deathly claw.
Where did you even come from?
Please stand still. Wait for impact, Lombeck.
During this fight, more dimensional chaos ensues.
What the
Thanks to the power of the SSD, we can near instantly teleport players to completely different locations. This isn't some small arena being loaded, but the entire level from a different planet. Let's jump over and see what's going on with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, Patrick, isn't it like just the old reveals, like PS3, PS4 days? You're just still blown away. Even
As you may have guessed, Rivet is a brand new playable character in the series.
That jump.
Where are you taking
Then talk about
me?
the SSD.
I
being able to just
was
kind
gonna
of
take you to my
teleport
hideout,
between
but first I gotta rescue my friends at their
seamlessly.
gelatonium factory.
That's what you want out of Sony. I really wish they launched this.
Rift Apart includes several alternate dimension versions of classic planets from past games.
Lemon, we don't want to talk
Did
about
we
it,
mention how
Andrew.
stunning and alive our worlds are? Thanks to the power of the PS5 and the 3D audio, we've been able to create alien planets with an immersive density like never before. Let's check it out.
Speedos, yeah. That's why I'm gonna
Have you guys
ride
gotten
one.
any of the?
As
Tell me in
soon
the
as
chat.
I
Did
can
you
get
pick
close
up the
enough.
3D
Back to
audio,
Ms.
like the
Zircon,
Sony
the
headset?
weapons
If
vendor.
you have, what did you think of it? Because I don't have
This
it. I
wasn't
have
what was in my
Astro.
account last time.
Oh, that is because I added our mutual friend on Nefarious City.
Okay.
In Rift Apart, you get to play with an explosive new arsenal, as well as a few returning classics.
You will be missed, sweet thing.
Here's another example of how we're using the DualSense. With the Topiary Sprinkler, players will feel resistance in the trigger as they prepare a throw of this garden grenade. Once on the ground and spitting out its rapid growth plant fertilizer, players will also feel when enemies have been topiaried and are ready to be trimmed down.
It's not just robots, guys. Daniel, it's not just a robot. You've got a insect. Black robot.
Where's that Speedle going?
It appears some dimensional distortion is emanating from that cave.
In addition to rift tethering and dimensional shifts, there are also many pocket dimensions scattered throughout the game.
And the last Speedle runs into that rift thingy.
Interesting. You must have a rift tether in your glove, too.
Doesn't do any of the justice. My little headphones are talking about this.
All right, Smarty Bot. What is this place?
A dimensional pocket? Perhaps a symptom of the Dimensionator's destruction.
How do you come up with this stuff?
How great this broad distance is.
Hey, it's Maynard, the Mortis helper bot. Must have wandered in through the rift somehow.
There is the Speedle.
No, don't hide! Ugh.
Hitting its nest might get its attention.
Well, hello there. Gotcha!
Oh, dear!
Maybe Maynard can lead me to the boards.
We could get away from this acid.
Come on, Maynard! Let's find the Morts!
Riding Speedles is one way of traversing Sargasso's acid swamps, and to do so quickly.
Excuse me!
Look out!
I got it! See? Sometimes I don't crash. Stop! There's the gelatonium factory. Coming, Morts.
We didn't follow that Lombax and his Robopet across dimensions just to get stopped by some fuzzballs. So you got like 9.5 seconds to tell us where they're at. 1.
Hang on there now.
If you watched our previous gameplay demo, you may recognize the Goons for Less. This rebranded gang has been hired by Dr. Nefarious to attack Ratchet and Clank, and are now also trapped in Rivet's dimension. Here's another new weapon. The Shatter Bomb is a frag-type grenade that deals a lot of damage to your foes. With haptic feedback, each explosion feels incredibly impactful.
It's all about haptic feedback. I just hope that more developers take advantage.
Where are these doofuses coming from?
Perhaps they were sucked through the dimensional vortex as well.
So much, I think haptic feedback will be a huge presence of it, which is a great thing to have, right? Normally I would worry that like third-party developers and like when they put in gimmicks or what seems to be a gimmick in a new console, I worry that they kind of fall off. But because Sony is investing so much in first parties, I think that the 3D audio and the haptic feedback are going to be just like major components for all of this.
This is just a small taste of some of the early gameplay in Rift Apart, but there is so much more. We have open areas to explore, dimensional Clank puzzles, glitch challenges, arena challenges, aerial combat, gold bolts to collect, pocket dimensions to explore, armor to obtain and use in the first ever Ratchet and Clank photo mode. And giving more people access to playing our games is always important to us. As such, Rift Apart will offer a slew of accessibility options. We'll reveal more about this soon. Experience Rift Apart's new planets, weapons, intense high-action combat, and near-instant load times, all with some of the best visuals we've ever created.
How about that, huh?
Resistance, sweet.
out of hand.
On behalf of all of us at Insomniac Games, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the Omniverse on June 11th.
That's our show. We explored the depths of an alien ocean, got a first look at Among Us on PlayStation, and zipped across space and time in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
All right, guys. Well, there it is. There's your state of play. What did you think? What do you think about Ratchet and Clank coming out in June? Aside from people in the chat for not wanting more robots, it is Ratchet and Clank, however, I am excited. I think it's going to be just a hell of a good time. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I expected out of this. I really wasn't expecting any much more from the state of play. They talked about it last week, how it was going to be really just a showcase for Ratchet and Clank, and it was. We're getting Among Us. They really weren't going to go through anything huge at this point. And the other thing, too, is that with the state of play, this is Sony's big first-party title that's coming out for June. This is the one they want to showcase, and I'm glad that they did it this way. We got a ton to look at here, and knowing that it was going to be pretty much just Ratchet and Clank, I got exactly what I wanted out of it. If you guys were expecting more, what were you hoping to see? Let me know. But this does have me excited. I'm picking this up digitally right away, probably the deluxe edition, and I love that there's even more to do within it beyond just the story mode. I like what they're going to be doing, what it seems like they're going to do with Rivet, and that we're going to have it feels like we're going to have two independent storylines and story arcs going together. We're trying to get Clank as she's like a renegade, and I feel like they are going to obviously come together at some point to take down Nefarious, but it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, Patrick, pre-order for sure. Guys, as you're here in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching and joining us here on Assemble for the State of Play. I really, really enjoyed it. I know that it wasn't a ton for us when it comes to, other titles or anything that's being announced or dropped. I had realistic expectations for this, that it was going to be just Ratchet and Clank, and it pretty much was, right? We had a little bit more of information coming for titles, but Sony's big MO right now is first party. It is going into first-party titles, PlayStation 5 exclusives. I think one of the bigger takeaways, too, with Ratchet and Clank this gen is that it's going to be so heavy on haptic feedback and 3D audio. And like I was saying in the show, I feel like this is going to be one of the biggest things that Sony is going to try to push with its first-party titles every single step of the way. And if they keep improving upon it, it's great. And if developers can find creative ways to use the haptic feedback in their title, then I'm all for it. Haptic feedback is really, really, it changes the gameplay up a lot. And what I mean is that it just creates an extra element. It's an extra sense that you're working with your controller. Having standard rumble features is still always a classic and great for us. Remember the days of rumble packs on 64? There's just a jerking, and it would hurt. But I love that when you're getting into these new titles and how they are using this feedback and how Ratchet in the gameplay that they showed off, how you can actually hold down the trigger ever so slightly in different ways. And that is going to change how you're shooting one weapon versus another. So it's going to be really cool. I love that you guys are talking Justice League and Superman, by the way, and Marvel's Avengers. That makes me very happy. See what is going on. But this is going to be a really, really great, solid game. I can't wait to see. What do you guys want to see out of Ratchet and Clank? And what do you think that Sony is going to take advantage of the haptic feedback and 3D audio going forward for like the majority of its titles? That's where I think that they are honestly going to be going with God of War, next Spider-Man. They're really going to be diving into that. They did that with Spidey on the last game in the Miles Morales, but I think that they'll take it a step further now that they've had time with the controller too. But yeah, Rift Apart. I love the interdimensional play where you can actually get closer and closer. If we can find that part where he can actually go through the dimensions. That was really cool. So when Ratchet can actually go through, like, that little sequence there blows me away, only because I've come up with PlayStation for years, and I've always been impressed with the Ratchet games because of how beautiful they are, but seeing this little, like, these little moments where he can actually basically just pull himself through, it really can change things up. Like I love, and the dodge mechanic too that he has, like right here, it kind of just trips me every time I'm looking at that. You're getting tons of AI on, you're getting dash mechanic, tons of AI. Like it's bright, it's colorful. It feels and it looks like it's very seamless when you're going from moment to moment. And that's what I love about these games is if they can cut out loading screens entirely with using that SSD, and it looks like they're taking full advantage of all this horsepower they have right now, this is going to make this pretty much a top seller for Sony going for the summertime, which I'm really excited about, because then we're going to get this in the summer, and then presume we're going to get something else announced for the fall. We're going to get some more big titles coming in. But like, yeah, that like little changeover from the interdimensional stuff when they can actually go through, it's pretty badass. And the stories are fun, and they're entertaining enough. And yeah, like they have here where they're showing off like just different gameplay modes we can do in here. The accessibility options I think are fantastic. That's something that both Xbox and Sony should keep leaning into more and more, giving players different options when it comes to accessibility, when they want to be able to change their toggle, the layouts and everything. The skins here, hang on, let's go back for a sec. So if we take a look at, where is it? Is it ahead? Yeah, we have all the accessibility options. There we go. So you can see we've got our map, we've got the armor, which is what he's in right now. And getting all of the, being able to customize too. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you can tell that they're definitely going to go down the path, probably, of future content, DLC content, when it comes to this. Being able to change out your helmet, change up your chest pieces, as well as your boots. And then the collectible bonuses that, like, what it's going to do on top of it. So, cool, simple system. We got our collectibles, the map, obviously, weapons, the gadgets attached, and doing your photo mode in your gallery. Again, simple, cool design. Players are going to have fun being able to, like, change out Ratchet the way they want, probably Rift too. If they lean into that, they're going to get a lot of players on board to be able to kind of play how they want to play with their players. Like, that little level of extra customization can bring a lot of new players into the series. And again, you have to consider that we have people and generations of players that may have played like a little bit of Ratchet on PS3, maybe, but you have a new gen that played the one version on PS4, and then that's it. And they probably thought it was a good experience. I think Sony is going to lean really hard into this to make them even more household names. Yeah, those accessibility options too. I love all of that. I love that they can change the assist modes, the auto aims, the locks, melees. Photo mode is great. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. Very, very exciting. Cool, cool, cool. So guys, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Thank you for being on the show, joining me, having some fun. Remember, head over to youtube.com/assemble show where you are now. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join the community as well. We've got all those fun little badges. You guys can join the Assemble Universe, become an Assemble Universe member. Some of you guys are already in there as members, and that's fantastic. You get priorities, you do super chats, you do all that fun, crazy stuff on the YouTube. That's really awesome for supporting us here on the show as we continue to grow, and we are heading towards 2,000 subscribers. I'm losing my mind over that. We've been here for about a year, and the support is really, really fantastic. Daniel in the chat, Spider-Man 3 certainly wasn't perfect, but with the complete makeover, it will definitely be better, 100%. Andrew Barrasso, my man, thank you so much for being an amazing supporter of the show. Thank you, thank you. Will 2K22 have the 2K19 control scheme? You want to switch gears into WWE 2K coverage, do you, Andrew Barrasso? Well, my friend, I think that game specifically, I think that they will have their own control scheme. I think that they're going to go for something different, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's simplified version and it is not overly complicated. But I think that they're going to have a different control scheme for that game, and they're not going to go off of what they've had in 2K. Maybe, maybe not. They've been using that engine forever. They might go back and they might just reuse it. We'll have to wait and see. Yep, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, June. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a ton of fun, you guys. Very awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We're here. We're together. We're on the Assemble Show. Doing a quick little live stream with you guys, looking at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, looking at the state of play from Sony. We basically just got the state of play is focused on Ratchet, which is still okay with me. I'm happy. I'm happy that we're getting all of this brand new game. This game looks awesome. I'm going to have a good time. We got more news coverage coming at you tomorrow on the show. We'll look at some of the updates with Sony, their numbers, as well as a little bit of Xbox news, looking at what they're doing when they're downgrading the PC side of things, and looking at the percentage of PC games that they're pulling back, and they're actually going to be probably focusing on Game Pass a little bit more. So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this episode of Assemble. I'm Matt. I am your host. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being live with us on the show. Tune in tomorrow because we got more nerdy game coverage coming at you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, guys, thank you for assembling with us. See ya.